What's up, YouTube? This is Thanks Tropics. In today's video, I'll be reviewing the best base locations for starters, and to list out what I'm gonna be doing or what base locations, like locations, biomes, is this first the safe shallows, then the kelp forest, the grassy plateaus, the sparse reef, and the northwest mushroom forest. In this video, I'll be just giving a list of things that you can find here, such as creatures, minerals, plants, like all of that stuff. Also, how to get to there from your life pod, although it's gonna be kind of hard because your life pod will spawn at the different locations. So, um, also we'll just be getting like my own personal opinion on the areas. And let's roll the first clip. Alright, for this first one, this will be the Safe Shallows, which is the starting location that your life pod will spawn in, as you can see right here. There's my life pod. And like I said, yeah, for some like into other bases, it might be a little different for your life pod's location. So yeah. For general information on this areas can be pretty shallow, obviously it's in the name, but you can find a wide variety of different wrecks for like different early in-game blueprints you can scan with your scanning tool. You also find a large variety of fish, like peepers, bladderfish, I think hoopfish are out here too, Garyfish. There's also a lot of plants. Obviously, you have like access to the kelp forests and also grassy plateaus down there. There's also government coral. I think this is table coral right here, which can like be used for a lot of different technology equipment. Oh, yeah, there's also boomerang fish. There's also a variety of bigger animals like the rabbit ray. You also find here huge amount of acid mushrooms, which can be used for batteries and stuff. So traditional decorative flora as well. Which also, if you don't know what that means just plants. So it might transition between saying flora or plants. Also for animals, it's fauna. Yeah. There's some good areas built in bases here. This is a pretty open little area. And also, if you are consider staying here in the safe shallows, in one of their cyclops here, I suggest like this area to like keep it and build a base because this place is pretty shallow and it's kind of hard to actually your cyclops places. I mean, I've got a cyclops stuck here once, like it was in creative mode, but yeah, I just don't want, you probably don't want that happening. Also, more things to find. You can find these two corals, which I think can be used to help make bleach. And also, up here, if you're staying up here a lot, we're really any shallow location. We're gonna be up like in this area, especially this kelp forest, which I'll get to next, like later in the video or something. Where you can use like the daylight charge light, or whatever the is called. You can see the sea moth solar charger, which can like charge, so that's only to charge it. It's pretty nice. For anything other things here. So for like aggressive or defensive fish, there aren't many out here except for the crash fish, which hide in the caves. Let's see if I can like one of these. Yeah, this one right there. Like those little spawning things. They are defensive, they aren't aggressive, so they don't hunt down. Need water. They don't hunt down you like say aggressive animal. Although like in this game, they don't. If you're like near them, they might hunt you down. It's not like they just continuously hunt you down, like leave their biomes or anything. It's just like if you get close enough, they spot you. That could be an issue. Also, another issue is that since the kelp forest is right there, have stalkers, which are aggressive life forms. They will come over here searching for metal. This is also another big thing you can find here is salvage, which can be used to craft a bunch of tools, like because it can craft titanium. So yeah, I can find a lot of that. So overall, my personal opinion, I've built a base here once, although I did move it to another location, which I'll get to later in the video, as it's on one of these. But from all the resources, you can find the regular the limestone outcrops, which can contain copper and titanium. And also in the caves, you can find sandstone outcrops, which will contain gold, lead, I think something else. Silver, yeah. Also, just be careful going in those caves because of crash fish, but overall, you should be fine. Just bring a bunch of med packs or maybe flares. I mean, I've never tried flares like deterring crash fish, but I should probably use that. To get to other locations, this is a pretty centralized area, so you got the crash zone, we should go there, which is kind of, I don't know, difficult place to navigate through because how like cloudy the water is. Also, there's reapers out there. So also, like I said, you boarded the kelp forest and the grassy plateaus and maybe some other biomes as well. But yeah, it's a pretty good place to build a base. There's a lot into this area. So now on with the next. So for this next one, this is the kelp forest, which is also like bordering these safe shallows, as I have said. And actually, do have a base here, so I can just tell you everything you need to know and that I've encountered. So this area, this is for like resources. Yeah, also got the kelp, which can be used to craft silicone, rubber, and from those like seed things, and also the samples which can craft fiber mesh. So get a lot of resources from that. It's got a bunch of coral like brain coral right here. It's not very useful like overall, but the only actually pretty good thing is it gives you oxygen. These little bubbles. You can see right there. If you played below zero, it's just basically just like the for oxygen plants, which can replenish oxygen with. For resources, you also find salt out here, a lot of it. And also because there are stalkers, which is an aggressive life form that can be found here. You can get stalker teeth or the metal salvage that they brought over from other locations in this area. I think metal salvage might spawn here. I haven't checked before, but I think so. This place also does have sandstone and limestone outcrops as well. And also, I forgot to mention this, but also a variety of eggs from the fauna that live here. So, yeah. I think there's also some other like resource like plants. I just want to check that out. The caves do have a thing, I forgot what they call it, but they're like these kind of droopy pink like bioluminescent plants that will poison you and can be quite dangerous to encounter. For fish, you can find hoverfish out here and like peepers, and also like some of the basic fish, and they can like consume stuff. And these resources like the bladderfish can be used to to like make water and the air bladder. Also, thinking out, you can actually eat the creepvine samples. Shells have enough of them in my inventory. I mean, it doesn't give you much of like any boost in hunger and thirst, but like hydration and like I don't know what the word for hunger would be, like the opposite of that. Basically, yeah. From like here, there is a lot of other biomes that border it. Some like because there's multiple regions of this, just like the safe shallows, you can find different borders, which can also lead inside the underwater islands and like a few other biomes, like the Grand Reef or Sparse Reef. There's probably also more because it's pretty like I wouldn't say expansive, but it's pretty spread out, like different regions, multiple regions. Yeah. Anything else I want to point out here? So yeah, with the base, there's gonna be some pretty shallow areas and pretty deep areas, like contain Cyclops. I have 2 Cyclopses right here. As I built that one right there, just because I play the game. Yeah. So, pretty good place to build base here. This region is also considered by a lot of people to be one of the best areas because it borders like 3 biomes, and it's also pretty open, so you can build like a pretty big base here. Actually, just recognize it's just right next to my base as well. So it also might be a very good area to build a base because like, you're basically just like 3 biomes all at once. Also, I think there might be quartz here. I have to check. Which can be used to make glass. I don't think there is. But luckily, since you're right next to the grassy plateaus, it does contain quartz in its area. So yeah, since this area is just right next to the safe shallow, it's pretty easy to get to, and also pretty easy to spot from your life pod. And yeah, it's a pretty good RL place to build base. I mean, sometimes you run out like salt, and like the outcrops will not like, basically replenish. I would guess, yeah, I could say that, but
Welcome aboard, Captain.
But RL, yeah, I can find a lot of stuff here, and also all the regions. So yeah, on with the next clip. So for this next clip, it will be the grassy plateaus, which right now I am the safe shallows, also next to my base in the kelp forest that I went to earlier. But over here, this is a pretty good biome to be in. It's pretty deep, so you can also build like your rocket or the Cyclops out here. And this biome is a bit dangerous because this biome will have the occasional stalker that may come from the kelp forest, and also the sand sharks, as well as the biters, which are like tadpole-like animals. And also, the warning for your sea moth: do not crash into the spadefish, which are those guys right there, where my crosshair is on. They will damage it, and just make sure you have like a repair tool or something on you. Yeah, those are the sand sharks. They are kind of big. They will like go into the sand, then like attack. Also, like out here, there's wrecks. There's actually a pretty big wreck. You also find different life pods, and I've had to mention this being a lot. Found life pod 3 in the kelp forest. Like right here is life pod 6, which, yeah, life pod 6, which is the one like you cannot get your signal location for. But like I said earlier, there is quartz out here to make glass, and there is salt too. Make sure. Also, just like the safe shallows, there is floaters on those rocks, which can be used to make things flow like those rocks. I think you might be able to listen to the surface pretty easy and stay afloat. But yeah. Fish. There's also another, since I also mentioned the spadefish out here, there's also there's the biters, so beware of these guys. There's also the Reginald, which I'm gonna go find at least one of them. Where are they? I saw like 5 million earlier. Yeah, just these guys. My cursor on right now. For like this area is pretty open, so you can find a lot of places to build bases. Now, this is also just like the safe shallows and the kelp forest, where it's like pretty spread out, like different regions of it, which can be bordered a bunch of different biomes. This one right here also borders the crash zone and the northeast mushroom forest. And one of the other ones I'll talk about in the video will be the northwest mushroom forest, which is a bit safer than the northeast mushroom forest. So there's also plants that can attack you. Well, there's at least one, thank God, but it's called the tiger plant. There is one right there. I don't know if they can do damage to sea moths. I guess I can see. But yeah, beware of these guys. Also, you can find the reefback leviathan out here. Like, there's a whole bunch of them. It's kind of weird, I don't see any. Oh, there's one. But yeah, these big guys. They may look intimidating at first, but they're just safe. You can also find a bunch of resources. You can find barnacles up here, which can contain copper and silver. Let's find different plants like some decorative plants, table coral, and what is it called again? Acid mushrooms. Sometimes they will have tiger plants on them, so be aware of that. Yeah, also find spring coral. There is a bunch of different stuff you can find on, like floor-wise, you can find on the reefbacks. There's some other life pods like on the other regions, but I found them like from here. So yeah, it's pretty. This biome is pretty deep, so you can find some good places to build some bases out here. So, that's pretty much it, I think, for this. Oh, also the outcrops you can find the limestone and sandstone outcrops, which I listed the materials earlier as well. If you forgot that, you can go back to that portion of the video for that timestamp. Let's see anything else I want to mention out here. I think that's pretty much it. So, there's lots of find here. I'm just thinking of like one thing that's gonna try to remember it, but let's see again. Yeah, I think so. I'm just trying to think of what I was trying to say, but I forgot. But yeah, other than that, I think there's obviously quartz, and you can find salt in here, which decorative plants. Also, just beware of these blow biters and the also the ram to the spadefish, and also the sand sharks. I think it's really called. Yeah. Anything else? There's also just like different like I said, Rex. You can find different resources you can scan if you want, because this will progress in the game. And also since you have the Mushroom Forest, you can find different parts of the Cyclops, also base buildings, tools, just like basically any other area, because you can find a bunch of like different variety of items for vehicles, tools, and base items. So yeah, that's it for this clip. Let's roll on to the next clip. Alright, for this next clip, I'll be going to the Sparse Reef, which I'm also in the safe shelves right now, so since this is my life pod, just like, you know, so it's quite far from here. Well, not exactly, but it's kind of far compared to the last areas. So, you just go like a bit, I think southwest, I would say. It does border the grassy plateaus in this area, and also a kelp forest right here. So yeah, you also access the Grand Reef, the kelp, not the kelp, but the blood kelp trench, which is just right beside it. So yeah, it is right over here. And for like creatures, also plants, just for warning, there is tiger plants here, just like the grassy plateaus. There's different resources. I think there might be shale outcrops out here too, which can contain diamonds, gold, and lithium. But I could be wrong. Actually, let's see. There's something again. Yeah, this place I think does have it. You also find different wrecks out here. Also these, as I mentioned, but when you get your prawn suit, you can and get the drill, you can drill these things. This is a lithium thing, I think. Yeah. Then you can get different resources that is quartz right there. And I also have built a base out here, actually one of my worlds. Well, they kind of complete it because of a weird glitch that happened. I kind of swim, I was walking underwater, it was so weird. But I did have my base here, and I built around one of these open areas. This place is quite devoid of any life because it's the Sparse Reef. You can find these little, what they're called, but they're kind of squid-like animals. You also find spadefish out here, which is good food source because they can replenish a lot. You can also find salt deposits out here too. Yeah, so there's something else. Also find just different little plants like nice dog moving, they're called. So these little things. Also just these plants right here. There's also these little spires out here. There's limestone outcrops right there. Let's see, there is shale outcrops out here. I forgot. This area can be quite expansive. There's also the steeper area. I also have access to the deep Grand Reef, which you can find the Lifeline 19 out here as well. Also, be warned in this area, especially, there's a lot of bloodsuckers, which we're probably called, but yeah, they can do a decent amount of damage if you cut them off instantly. You might find different rags, find a bunch of different resources out here. Some data box. So let's find stuff for vehicles, tools, furniture, and for your base. Let's find, I think it's a lead thing right here. My personal opinion of this biome is it's actually pretty good. I mean, you have to go to other biomes to find a lot of different resources and fish, but these spadefish will actually do a decent job at keeping your thirst and hunger to good levels because they can do a lot in both those areas. But yeah, there's a bunch of open areas to build bases. Also, you have the blood kelp trench, and you also have access to the dunes somewhere over here. Yeah, you can find a lot of good resources in there. So, like uranite, ruby. Also, there's a bunch of dangerous things like warpers and the crab fingers, crab squids down there. I don't know that one exactly. Let's find these things, which I think are used for some actually important in-game item to beat the game. Which are those like those are called ice dogs. So that's part of the crafting recipe for the thing to beat the game. Like at least one of the things to beat the game. Overall, this is a pretty good biome to be in. Yeah, it can go quite deep down here, so be prepared. It goes past 200 meters, so you might also want to upgrade your Seamoth to be able to get down there. Yeah, I can find a lot of different resources out here. Blueprint stuff. Yeah, it's a pretty good biome, in my opinion. That's like I said, full base here. Just go to the island all the way down there. So yeah, follow the next clip. Alright, so for the last clip, which is also the last biome, you know, this will be the Northwest Mushroom Forest, and I'll be going from here on my iPod. So it will be a bit down here, then go past this kelp forest, and this part of the safe shallows. I'm in the right area. I'll get down. Camp Watchtower, I think I was going toward the crash zone and the Aurora, which are in the wrong area. At least. Area's pretty shallow. A bunch of soldiers out here. There's gas spots. I'll probably mention that earlier, but for the safe shallows, there's gas spots. They are defensive. They will release like these little like balls of yeah, the like poisonous gas kind of like things. They're kind of annoying to deal with, so just don't swim to the those gas like orbs or balls, whatever you want to call them. Should be out here. Also, you can find the life pods. Can find life pod 13 out here. Actually, that's pretty good. Actually, you want to see something, so I think I can so I can find this a bit easier. Yeah, right here. So an easy way to find, especially some of these biomes, is just look for life pods that are located here. So like, there's life pod 13, which is the one in the Northwest Mushroom Forest. Yeah, I'll just get over there. See, that's actually quite far away from the main life pod spawn area. It's kind of annoying. At least mine. I don't know if there's like different regions of the safe shallows, but you pretty much spawn in like the main area. So yeah, this place is quite rich in like cyclops parts to scan. You also find cuttlefish eggs, which are probably the best little creatures. They're like pretty. You can play with them. You know, they're like every Subnautica veteran or just like good player will know about these and just love them as like little friends, especially since they're alone. Yeah. For like fauna, you can find these things, what they're called. But there's also a lot of resources unlocked. Like I did the intermediate base locations for like say intermediate players, which is on the northeast Mushroom Forest, which is a bit more dangerous because it's right next to the crash zone and the bulb zone. This here is definitely a bit safer, except for this does border the dunes, which can have a lot of Reaper Leviathans, and also can be a pretty different place to navigate there. It's very dark out there, and I think a lot of silt is in the water. Yeah. So there are caves out here. Also got the main kind of tree-like area. Got reef backs out here as well. Different fish too. A lot of variety of flora. You can find acid mushrooms. Find those things called again. Yes, yeah, I have her name. There's some of those like flora that you don't really use. There are some decent open areas, like especially right here, right next to life pod 13. There's some open areas, but it isn't very flat out here. There's also like probably an accident that there are caves underneath here as well. Different resources. You can find shale outcrops, sandstone, possibly limestone out here too. Which haven't been there much before. That's actually a pretty good biome, especially considering how good the northeast Mushroom Forest is. This area also borders the what's that? That was probably confused by. This area does border the underwater islands and the what's it called? The blood kelp, like the main zone, the northwest area of the blood kelp, which is quite dangerous. Sometimes if you get chased out by the ghost leviathan that lives there, they might come in here. They might come in here. So beware of that. Just like at first you might not want to go venture out there. There's also a bunch of like archeels and stuff out there. and ills. How about that? It's gonna be actually quite a bit of damage. I think they even do damage to your Cyclops. But just be smart out here, especially in an area like this. Also find bladderfish, which can be used obviously to make drinks, like water. Anything else out here? There's a lot of stuff to find. It's very pretty area as well. Also have a lot of bioluminescent stuff, like that kind of stuff. Let's venture out to the dunes, so I might not want to be there. But yeah, a good place to build a base. It might be hard to find some truly open areas, but once you get find one, just start building a base, it'll be pretty good. So yeah, that is it for the video. These biomes will be a good place for you if you're just a new player, and hopefully some of that information I gave you can help you play your best out here, get Hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe, and goodbye.